Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG related video. So I am trying something a little bit different. If you saw on my last Twitch stream, if you are watching this on YouTube, please check it out as well. It'll probably be uploaded actually on YouTube, so please check it out. I did a pack opening involving the 25th anniversary tin and a couple of cards. The differences in what sort of purchases you can get. So I tried to have a look and see what I could do differently. And I thought, well, I went to a locals the other day. I went with a couple of friends. I went with Buxton Gaming, who's also a YouTube person, and he came with us as he was playing his RDA, which is Red Dragon Archfiend. And we've done a couple of locals together over the last couple of years. We've done. I think this is the fifth tournament we've done. We both use different types of decks and everything. So we thought, well, let's just give it a go and see what we could try with the new decks, which obviously you can tell is Tenpai. So there's three piles. One is obviously the extra deck, one is the side deck, and one is the main deck. So, as I've said before, we've done locals about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I went with Buxton Gaming, check him out. I went with another friend of ours called Beth, who is also in some of the other videos I've done. She's a gaming enthusiast herself, doing a couple of things. Me and Buxton Gaming, Tim and Beth, we do like our own little gaming sessions on the side. And we enjoy our games, so she comes along and does a couple of stuff with us. And I went 3-1 with my Tenpai Dragon deck. And I believe Tim went 3-1 as well, but we did like a Swiss style tournament, shall I say. And he ranked higher than I did. So obviously we have our own little banter between ourselves. So without further ado, let's just go on with the deck profile. So I'll start with the main deck, and obviously I'll start with the monsters. So what I was running on that day, I was running 3 Pydra, 3 Chandra, 2 Fardra as the main kind of engine core part of the monsters regarding it. Obviously Pydra, all Tenpai dragons, they all have the quick effect to quick sync during the battle phase. Pydra allows you that search of a spell trap, and also you take no battle damage during the battle phase involving fire dragon monsters. Chandra allows you to summon from the deck, and Fardra allows you to reborn from the grave. Also cannot be destroyed by fire. Your fire dragon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle. So obviously that puts a nice quick effect, nice good effect towards the monsters during the battle phase. The main one, obviously, with the spell is Sangan Summoning. It is OP regarding this deck. A lot of people might say, obviously, it's the kind of the misc of the Tenpai dragons, because during the main phase 1, fire dragons you control are unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, which is obviously ridiculous. And during your main phase, it allows you to search for 1 Tenpai dragon to add it to your hand, and when discarding another one. And during the battle phase, if this is destroyed, you can target 1 dragon synchro monster and double its attack. So as you can tell, it's going to be exceedingly mad for hitting battle phase, especially with the activations of these 3. You can make it very easily to OTK upon on the second turn. Next one out, I'm running 3 of Sangan Cayman. Obviously, quick play spell, you normally play that during the battle phase, because the condition of Sangan Cayman is if you activate it during the battle phase, when you play the quick spell card, you can add a level 4 lower fire dragon monster from deck to hand, and a special 1 fire dragon monster from hand. And with it being in the battle phase, when you activate it, you use both of them simultaneously. So that's the main engine for the Chandra, for the Tenpais. And then for others, I've actually tried to add a few little disturbances and board breakers. So I added 2 Castira Fenrir and 1 Santa Claus. A lot of people are using the Santa Claus instead of using the what are they called? I forgot what they're called now. You see them at Pacific Rim. I bloody forgot what they're called. Kaijus, that's it, Kaijus. People are using Santa Claus just because of the defense of it. You put it in defense mode, and a lot of things such as Transcendent, you can turn it into attack mode during its for one of its effects. And with its 1200 attack, obviously, it's an easy target to do. Play 1 Masteel Magnamute for an extender, and then obviously we go into the hand traps. So I play 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and 3 Ghost Ogres. The Ghost Ogres are mainly for disruptions if I play a mirror match. Obviously most others tend to use cross out. I prefer to use Ghost Ogre just for the destruction part. Not to mention, before the second tin for the anniversary, Crossout Designator was on there. So Crossout Designator was actually still quite expensive at the time, because obviously it's coming up soon. I believe the release is actually today or yesterday, for when this video comes out. It came out for that then, and then Crossout Designator was on the list to be released and reprinted. So obviously I did the locals before the release of the anniversary tin, the second volume of it. So I play Ghost Ogre instead. And then we'll move on to the spell and traps as well. The main other kind of spell and traps ones, kind of they're more board breakers and disruptors, just as something to use or keep myself safe if I'm being made to go into turn 1. So with that, obviously you play 1 Terraforming to go into finding Sangan Summoning. If you can't find an alternative, if someone tries to ash your Hydra, at least you can use it to find your Sangan Summoning. Or I'd used Necro Valley. Now, Necro Valley was very handy when I tried to use my link package, which you'll see later. So when I tried to play the 4th game, I believe I played against a Light Sworn Runnick, and Light Sworn is all from the grave, Runnick is all from the grave, and one person played a trap deck as well, a Pazolius trap deck, and Necro Valley came through. I should have won on the 4th one, but he was an extremely good player. He's actually been to invitationals before, so Necro Valley played a good part with that. And obviously you can play around Necro Valley, so it's no different to playing it around Shifter, in my opinion. And I managed to get quite well with it, but he outplayed me extremely well. 2 Lightning Storm, just for disruption on the backboard. 2 Pot of Prosperity, especially with Trident Dragon, it makes no other difference. 3 Forbidden Droplet, which is one of the best cards probably in the meta right now. And of course, 3 Imperm. So that was the main deck that I used. I'll just go into the side deck of what others I was able to use as well, to switching it around. But before I go into that, let me go into my extra deck. My extra deck consists of the standard 15, and of course, you don't start anywhere better than Trident Dragon. Some people don't use it. I personally do. I think it's worth having in the deck, having in the extra deck, just in case you're needed to take out an OTK. Using its effect to destroy 2 cards on the field, and then if you destroy the Sangan Summoning, double its attack to 6,000, and each card you destroy with it being 2, it gains 2 additional attacks, or 1 for each card destroyed during the battle phase. So it's an easy OTK. I believe it's worth having in the deck. It's 1 Tenpai Transcendent Dragon, brilliant with the same brilliant effects that it's got. Same with Biden Dragon. Both can be reborn from the graveyard if 3 or more attacks have happened during the battle phase. And with Tenpais, it's an easy thing to do with with the effects of Pydra and Fardra to not be destroyed by battle, not taking any battle damage. You can easily reborn these. Biden Dragon, once you're reborn, you can destroy a spell or trap, and then Transcendent, you can, once it's reborn, you can pop a card. It's just easy to do. People say it takes no skill, but I say differently, because people tend to work a way around it, especially during the battle phase, because Sangan Summoning does not give you any protection during the battle phase. A lot of people play another card, or people tend to put in Transcending Dragon during the main phase, so when you get into the battle phase, it gives you that protection, as when you're in the battle phase, you can change your opponent's monsters into attack position, and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. So obviously that's that extra protection. Whereas in the other hand, I tend to give myself the protection beforehand, so it allows me to go into Transcendent Dragon when I get into the battle phase. And what I tend to do is I try to use Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. You could target one card in the Pendulum Zone and special summon it, but we don't play no Pendulum cards in Tenpais. But the main one that you use is monsters in your opponent's possession cannot be activated during the battle phase. So for me, that's the idea. You can't get ashed, you can't get nibbed, you can't get veiled. Veiled's during the main phase anyway. But you can't activate monster effects, and that's kind of the things that people want to do, especially if you're going turn 2 and people have already got a board out, so they can't throw negates out to you, because it's impossible, because they're going to be negated through Meteor Burst effect. So if people were trying to ash you, if you played a Cayman during the battle phase, then it's impossible with Meteor Burst Dragon out in the field. For a little bit of a disruption, I've used one Black Rose Dragon. If I was going first, beg your pardon, if I was going second, and when this card is Synchro Summon, you're going to destroy all cards on the field. Straight up, just gone. Playing that with Sangan Summoning out on the field, with it being a fire dragon, no one can respond to it, unaffected by activated effects. So wipes the board out, wipes out Sangan Summoning, wipes out Black Rose obviously at the same time, but you have a clear board unless they have something that they can do otherwise. But the other cards now are for first turn, so I have Crystal Wing Synchron Dragon to help me with any negates during the first turn. Ancient Fairy Dragon to help me into the first turn with the effect to summon a level 4 or lower dragon monster from the hand, and with its ability to gain 1,000 life points by destroying a field spell card and then replacing it with another one, which also then activates the effect of Ultimate Zolkin, which allows you to special summon something from the extra deck if a card is set, which is then where you play into your Crystal Wing. And then for something like Yubel, which is obviously quite good in the meta right now, people are using a lot of Yubel, I decided to use a Time Lord. A lot of people was using Samurai Destroyer. I was split between the two. That are both just as good as each other for Yubel, I believe. But I wanted to use the Time Lord just for its banishing effect. And it's a little bit of a cheese, taking no battle damage from the attacks, and obviously can't be destroyed by battle or card effects. I thought it was quite a decent ball breaker. And then my link package, I decided to have 5 cards, and there's the standard 5 cards that I see a lot of people use. 1 Hieratic Seals, 1 Heater, 1 Princess, 1 Raging Phoenix, and 1 World Sea Zelantis. And that is my extra deck. So obviously the link package I use mainly because if I do tend to go first, or if someone has debarriered me or anything like that, I use the World Sea as the World Sea as Atlantis to try and OTK, using obviously the effects of Heater, Princess. There are, how can I describe it? There are obviously things that could disrupt it, and it is obviously dependent. If your opponent has gone first, you've gone second, they've put out D-Barrier, they've called Synchro. There is things that people could do. For example, like Heater and Promethean Princess, you have to have at least 1 fire dragon in the grave, but then you also have to have they have to have a fire dragon a fire type monster, and obviously a monster on the field to activate the other effects of like Raging Phoenix and Wellesley Salantis. But that is the extra deck that I have decided to roll. I did decide to roll for the locals, and with that, I will then go into the extra deck that not the extra deck, sorry, beg your pardon, the side deck that I had just in case I needed to change it up a little bit regarding what people decided to do. So I decided to play one Blackwing Dragon and one Blackwing Assault Dragon. Now that's for first turn for me. With Blackwing Dragon being a level 7, it's obviously easy for Tenpais to bring out a level 7. With Ultimate Zolkin's effect to bring out another synchro monster, Blackwing Assault Dragon is easily summoned with being able to have Blackwing Dragon out already, having another monster bringing out, which normally Biden's, because that is a synchro tuner. Obviously, Blackwing's Assault Dragon is one Blackwing monster and one tuner synchro monster. Oh, no, sorry, beg your pardon. It's one tuner synchro monster and one non-tuner monster, which obviously what Blackwing will have to be. And then, no, it doesn't. I do beg your pardon. I haven't used this, obviously. This is not my card, actually. So yeah, it can either be synchro summoned by special summoning for the extra deck by banishing one tuner synchro monster or one Blackwing monster from face up on your field. So obviously you bring out Biden's, you have Blackwing Dragon out in the field, you use Blackwing's Assault Dragon special summon it, and then you also have a negate and I believe it's a negate or disruption and a burn ability as well. You're having that coming out with Crystal Synchron Dragon at the end phase along with Spheres. I believe that is probably one of the best ones you can have. Ultimate Zolkin is already going to be on there, but it cannot be targeted for attacks while you control another synchro monster anyway. But hopefully you'll have the negates in your hand and on the field with using these monsters to prevent your opponent from playing on the first turn to going into your then next turn when they have to pass. So that's why I used it. These aren't my cards. I'll mention it right now. These are my friend's cards. Tim Buxton Gaming, Tim, he lent me the cards ready for the locals, but I never gave them back to him. I should really. I'm not going to steal from him. I'm not that type. The others I played were 2 more Santa Claus, just in case there were a lot of people. There were a lot of U-Bells on there. I played 1 Druid Worm just for the disruption, 2 Nibiru's, 1 Feather Duster, 3 Shifters, and 3 Cyclones. So I used the Cyclones obviously when I had a Runic, and when I had played the Trap deck. Nibiru for the Light Sworn, I brought that back out because obviously there was a hell of a lot of summoning with Nibiru. Again, Santa Claus is for U-Bell. And Shifter was just in case I played a mirror match. Shifter I did use as well for Light Sworn, with it being in the graveyard. And that was, he outplayed me. He was an extremely, extremely impressive player. Absolutely outplayed me. But I knew I could have beaten him. But, coulda, woulda, shoulda. But it is all good. It's all a learning curve. And that is my Tenpai Dragon deck. I also wanted to do a few mentions out as well. I will be doing more deck profiles. I have one that is Kastura. This one is Machina. This one is Umi. Ancient Gears. My Insects. And ignore what it says on the box, that is my Dragon Link. So those are the other decks that I have used. I haven't played. I've played Ancient Gears at tournaments. The very first tournament I didn't do very well at all because I didn't know how to play the game properly after being away for so long. Machina, I went 2-2. Is that Dragon Link? No, that's Kastura. This is Dragon Link. Yep, that's Dragon Link. That's Dragon Link. I played for the last two tournaments before the recent one, and I went positives on that one. I went 3-1, and then obviously my Tenpai Dragon deck, which I didn't do too badly at my Tenpais, but I will be using them again probably in the future. And I also wanted to show you as well my binders before we finish off. So let me just move these out of the way. So I'll show you my small binder first, my cheap binder. And in the first one, there is my Sword Souls, which I use in one tournament as well. I have a multitude of them as two. So I might just give you a quick glance through. Now, I played Sword Souls before I played my Dragon Link. I went 3-1 with that. Unfortunately, that's obviously now banned, which is a right pain. I get why they have. There's obviously now not a lot of Omni Negates anymore, trying to make it fair for everyone. A few just random ones, and these are the cards that I kind of were either, obviously the rest of the Tenpais, that was a gift for Gate Guardian, especially with having a new support coming through. My most expensive card I own today, Espelil Knight, bought that for £95 if you're in the UK or around that area. Triple Tactics Talent, I was actually going to put this into my deck. And then thought, well, if your opponent activating a monster effect during the main phase, activate one of these effects. Well, if I'm playing Sangan Summoning, they can't. So what was the point? So I just got rid of it. And I just left it alone. I used to have that in my Umi deck along with another one of Totally Awesome, and I'll be doing an Umi deck very soon because that's what I'm going to be taking to the next locals in a few months' time. A lot of obviously old school cards like Dark Hole, Parasite, when I first made my insect deck as well. Gold Sarcophagus, 1-for-1. Mementotlin, the new deck that's out. T has got a Mementos deck. Excuse my cards inserting abilities. It's not the best, I must admit. A few other ones as well. Mrs. Cockroach Knight. As you can look how battered that is. Absolutely battered. That's old. That's TPI -EO2. I don't even know what that is. Can't even remember what that would be from. And then I had some. All these were from the cards that I got from locals when the tournament finished. I was going to use. Sorry, not me camera there. I was going to use Ghost Mourner as well. It worked out quite well, but wasn't too bad. And again with Ghost Bell and Droll and Lock. I did have Black Rose Moonlight as well, but it's not as good as the alternative. So that is the smaller deck, smaller binder that I have, and this is my main one. Got that from a gift from a friend who bought it for me a couple of years ago. Started off, again, you can tell where I started off when I started my insect deck with Cocoon of Evolution, Pinch Hopper. I used to love playing Gravity to Bind when me and T first started. When I first started going back into Yu-Gi-Oh! I played Gravity to Bind. It really pissed him off. and there's nothing better than just cheesing your friend, in all fairness. Alexandrite Dragon, I used to love this card when it was back in the day. We're probably one of the strongest attacking cards. That is normal still. Infiltrate, when I first started off with my very first deck in Ancient Gears. And again, you can see where the insects then came along, playing through a lot of things. Dark Ruler No More, had no intention of bringing that onto into the deck, to be honest with you. I didn't really think it was needed, in fairness. Especially I didn't want anything that could stop me from my opponent from taking damage. That's the idea behind it. They all just have to take damage. A couple of old school cards again with Raigeki, Polly, Monster Reborn. Shame that Link Kuribo is now banned, with a few others as well. Now we have to go into Relinquish Anima. It's not too bad. Relinquish Anima is not a bad card at all. A couple of these cards were from when I started making my Blue Eyes deck as well. Random cards, one from packs that I got from going into the locals. Changed it. Now these cards, I changed it up a little bit when I played Sword Souls. I heard that there was a duality engine in Sword Souls where you can use duality to bring out Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon, Albion Dragon, using Irish Sword to bring out Red Eyes, Dark Dragoon, Fallen of Albaz, so on and so forth. Now, where is it? It's probably on the other page, actually. My Umi deck, when I first bought it, came out with a whole lot of things. Is it here? There it is, Mirror Jade, but we'll go into that in a minute. But I bought a package of cards for Umi, and it came out with Legendary Fisherman. I played Legendary Fisherman in my Umi deck once, and it worked out fine for the first few bits, but then you can tell it just wasn't working very well. Now we're going into the back parts of the binder, and this is where my prized possessions are now. So this is where my Blue Eyes is. Old School Dark Magician I found for a $5. My Lubellion, I had 4 Bastille Lubellions to try and make a little bit of money from. But it didn't work very well, because when I bought the Lubellions a week later, the first anniversary came out, and it just crashed the prices in the stock. So now my friend T has the Bastille Lubellions, the other 2, and I have one in my Dragon Link and one here. I have 2 Blue Eyes Jets that were expensive at the time and now have been crashed. Everything that I buy is crashing. So, you know what, from now on, I'm just not going to buy nothing. It's probably the best off that way. And this is where I first made the Blue Eyes deck, using all this sort of stuff. Ultimate Fusion. I can't remember what it was now. Was it, is it here somewhere? Probably something. The Ritual card. Oh, there's this here. Chaos Form. That's what it was. All the other cards I used for when I bought a Blue Eyes starter deck from eBay. God, I still remember Kyberman. Kyberman was boss when it first came out. Everyone loved Kyberman. Distribute this card, especially someone Blue Eyes from your hand. Yeah, give me Kyberman all day. And then my old faithful Ancient Gears. Love me Ancient Gears. I am in need of a new binder, by the way. Look at it, it's trashed. But that is my... Oh, it's falling. My camera's falling. Hopefully it's all right. So that is the other binder that I have. And that is my deck profile, my very first deck profile. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. I am going to be doing more of my deck profiles. Let me just name this up. There we go. I'm going to be changing up my my channel content a little bit with my YouTube and my Twitch, giving you a little bit of variation of the things that I do. So this is obviously my Tenpai Dragon deck profile. My first look into the binders. There will be more to come. I have other cards that I need to put into the binders, but I need more binders. So that will be later on in the future. With with pack openings is an option too. With obviously the new volume, the volume of is it called the 25th anniversary? I think it is, or is it the Rarity Collection? That's it, the Rarity Collection. That's come out now, volume 2. So I'll be getting looking to buy a box set of that to do some pack openings and hopefully get some really, really nice pulls. So, with that being said, thank you for everyone that has joined me. I hope you enjoyed this very first deck profile. I'll be doing some more of them in the near future. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.